Good morning, San Antonio. And howdy. Everybody, wave. Good morning, San Antonio, District 9. This is Patriot and your perfect conservative candidate for City Council District 9. We're in the heart of District 9 right now, just northwest of the airport. And it's a great morning in San Antonio, nice and cool, not too much humidity, a little overcast. We're joined by a bunch of patriots. Today is a day to celebrate our independence. Today is a day to celebrate our freedom. And so yes, that's right. And so if you believe in freedom, know what we're doing out here today has a cause. My daughter said yesterday, she said, and she's right over here to my left, Blaine said, I don't know how you do this every day. I said, when you have a cause and you have a purpose, it makes it easier. It makes it more fulfilling. It makes it more rewarding. Everybody leads busy lives. Everybody deserves to have the freedom to do and exercise their free will. And that's what we stand here for today. Because in District 9 and throughout San Antonio, our freedom is being restricted and oppressed. So thank you very much for joining us this morning. Please, for more information, votepatriot.org, votepatriot.org. We are here to tell you that there's a runoff going on. Did you know there's a runoff going on? Yes. So if you didn't know, I've had people say, I'm so glad you won. Congratulations. And I've had other people say, I'm so sorry you lost. And please go forward. And I said, well, in both cases, we have a runoff. It's neither case yet. We are going to win. We're going to persevere. We're going to finish the good fight. So please join us. Early voting begins May 24th. Election day is Saturday, June 5th. So with that, I'd like to begin in a prayer and asking everybody, the one triune God, to lead us as we begin this short rally for patriotism, for our freedom. So if you would, join me in prayer. And Dave, would you lower that volume, please? Thank you very much. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to gather together under the rights that you give us, the unalienable rights that you give us, including the freedom of association, the freedom to peacefully assemble, to be together because where two or more are gathered together in your name, you are there. And so we ask you to be with us and guide us. Encourage us to be good, to do good, and pursue the truth always, never stopping. Help us to share with the people of San Antonio that the truth, your truth, because that's truly good for the individual, it's good for the community, and it'll lead to prosperity. And so we ask you to bless our nation, our state, our county, and our city, the city of St. Anthony. These times we enjoy in the freedom and the independence of Texas that began 185 years ago after the April 21st, the Battle of San Jacinto, and where we, thanks to our ancestors, our forebears, that they won and fought and died for us, for freedom. And we thank you for their efforts and their sacrifice. We thank you for everybody since then that has come along and sacrificed. We thank you for our public servants that are now serving us as in elected office. We ask you to bless and guide them with right ordered thinking, with wisdom, and perseverance to do what's good, to represent your people. And so we ask you to encourage people to rightly form their consciences, and that they go out and vote with a well-formed conscience to honor you and to bring personal satisfaction and joy to them, that brings them your peace and joy this day. And we ask you to bless as we wrap up the National Police Week, honoring police. We ask you to protect them as they are out serving us and all first responders, as we also celebrated National Nurses Day just recently. So we ask you to bless all first responders, bless and protect them wherever they might be. Protect them, and always send your guardian angel and St. Michael to protect them, as they are the first line of defense and protection against evil. And we ask all these things in your most precious name. Amen. We have the great and distinct honor and pleasure to have with us a man who is fighting for our freedom and fighting for what's good and right in the city of San Antonio at the state legislature. And I don't want to forget Alamo Heights in House District 121, which encompasses District 9. And so I'm honored to present to you our very own State Rep, Steve Allison.
Patrick, I'm so pleased and proud to be here to support, to the possible extent possible, my good friend Patrick from Dohlen, sitting back from District 9. You know, there's so much at stake in this election. Our city is so important to us, and we've got to preserve it. We need someone who's looking after families, who's looking after public safety, fire, police, emergency medical, who's pro-business, who's pro-San Antonio. There are so many issues, so many issues. So I ask you to look at the total candidate, look at the total issues, and who do you want representing you on the city council on each and every one of those issues. This isn't a single issue situation. It's a multi-issue situation, and we need someone like Patrick Von Dohlen. It's after faith, family, freedom, the basic principles that have held so dear to all of us and our families. To move San Antonio forward in these days that are so important. I'm so happy to be back home for a week. Back to Austin for the end of the session. We're going to continue to fight for San Antonio and Austin. What's so important though is local. Early voting starts again on 6/24. Turnout is so important. Take your friends, take your family, take your neighbors. And make sure you get out and vote starting May 24th and certainly on Election Day, June the 5th. And we return some sanity and some good government to our city council. We're Patrick Von Dohlen representing us in District 9. Thank you so very much for being here today and for what you do for Patrick and what you do for our city. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve. I greatly appreciate that, and I thank you for your work at the state legislature, and especially on life issues and the Medicaid Level 15 waiver, and truly delivering the health care to people in need, and for their true health needs, and not be redirected towards other things that are not necessary. So thank you very much for your good work. In the excitement of having State Rep Steve Allison join us, I failed to have our Pledge of Allegiance. We have several flags out here. I'd like to ask Melvin, who's a retired firefighter, to come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So Melvin, would you come up here to the front and do that? And we'll face the bigger flag over here on the truck.
I pledge allegiance to the United States, to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Melvin, and thank you for all your time and service on fire department. Thank you very much. How many years?
32.
You might have made a career of it yet.
Almost there.
Well, I hope you're enjoying your retirement. Thank you so much for your good work. Thank you. Okay, so we also have the opportunity in celebrating National Police Week is to have a retired police officer come up and join us, Mr. David Moore of Unite San Antonio. You can go find his Facebook group at facebook.com/Unite San Antonio and follow all local news. Everything that's happening here locally, he's addressing there. He's written several articles of late, and one of them to include the importance of holding CPS Energy and SAWS accountable, but then also holding my own incumbent opponent accountable. That we cannot allow the person representing City Council District 9 who doesn't represent the values of District 9 to go and continue to give away money that belongs to District 9, and the allocation of and the allotment of money that comes back out from the city revenue. 26% of the city's revenue comes from District 9 and goes into appropriations. It comes back out, and part of it comes back out and distributed amongst 10 districts. We need to make sure it's equal. And so, if you would, join with me, Mr. David Moore, retired police officer, come up and join us and talk about National Police Week, talk about what happened with Proposition B. And so thank you very much, San Antonio, for getting out and voting to defeat Proposition B, how important it was to protect police officers' the right to free will associations, the right to be professionally represented in collective bargaining against big city government in the city of San Antonio. And thank you for your protection and service to our community, to each of us for our public safety. So Dave, if you will.
talks about Proposition B, and thankfully, citizens of San Antonio defeated Proposition B. The only thing I can say about that is the efforts of the Conservative Party and citizens in this country defeated an outside national effort that spent over $900,000 to pass Proposition B. That was not a grassroots local endeavor. It was a national organizations that came in and deliberately tried to dismantle and defund our police department. And through the efforts of everyone, word of mouth, to get out and speak to the people, we were able to defeat them. We can do it again by getting out and voting. John Courage has made the statement that he voted and was instrumental in raising the police budget by $8 million. That's not true. Yes, he did vote for the current city budget, which included an $8 million plus contractual obligation to the city. It would have been in the contract whether he voted for it or not. But he did defund the nation's model for crisis intervention by $1.3 million and 20 civilian positions. He did this behind everyone's back. One of those little go along to get along council approved measures which actually defunded the police. He makes a lot of claims, takes credit for a lot of capital improvement projects that he had nothing to do with. I can only say I'm tired of listening to a man that claims to have done something and have done absolutely nothing. I'd rather see Patrick Dohlen in there. I know this man will do exactly what he says, and he'll do it quickly, with integrity and honesty. And the only way we're going to defeat John Courage is to get out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. If you didn't know, my wife says, wow, David really makes you look small. And can you imagine how intimidating David would have been in a police uniform and coming up and stopping that? That's the presence of an individual who has protected and served our community for a couple decades and more, that if you didn't know otherwise, a mental health professional could not do what a police officer does. We have to make sure we protect those who protect and serve us on a daily basis, and I want to thank them, because if it wasn't for them, they are our first line of defense against evil, against people who are making very bad choices, and they protect us, and they lead to our quality of life. So thank you, Dave, for your service, and thank you to all you police officers out there. I'm proud to announce that the San Antonio Police Officers Association has endorsed me, in large part through our work, continuous work over the years, and especially in opposition to Proposition B that was seeking to defund the police by disobeying their collective bargaining. We had a San Antonio Express News not editorial report, but I had a San Antonio Express News interview yesterday at Walker Ranch Park with my wife, and the reporter continued to try to ask questions that were not being addressed at City Council, and some that were, but the ones he refused to talk that we really wanted to talk about was a rumor that is being circulated that we've uncovered through opposition research, and that the rumor is that Robert Francis, Beto O'Rourke, and Wendy Davis were going to come to the city of San Antonio to District 9 to campaign for my incumbent opponent. And while that might or might not come to reality, the fact that Robert Francis, Beto O'Rourke weighed in on Proposition B, asking citizens of San Antonio to pass Proposition B, because he said we need to make sure we hold police accountable. That's just a lie. It's not true. Proposition B was not about accountability. It was all about collective bargaining and the police officer's right to a free will association. So Robert Francis, Beto O'Rourke, his own admission, his own participation in Proposition B to try to pass it, shows that he is trying to wiggle his way in to stay relevant, as he is in Dallas right now and campaigning for a mayor up there. Whether or not they come here, the fact of the matter is that John Courage had a Wendy Davis sign in his front yard in October of last year while she was running for Congressional District 21. Wendy Davis does not support Texas values. Wendy Davis does not represent Texans, and fortunately that's why she was defeated. Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke is a gun grabber. He's promoted gun control. He has promoted a gun buyback program. Things that don't work, they're not practical. They put onerous burdens on police. They cost taxpayers more money, and they do nothing to help with public safety or the proper use of firearms. It would only restrict your freedoms. John Courage, my incumbent opponent, has done the same at City Council and Governance Committee. Twice he has moved for gun control measures, gun buyback program, and was publicly slapped by not only the public, but also our own police chief, saying it's a terrible idea. It costs police money out of our budget we don't even have, and it's not prudent in its application. We need people with prudence, with good common sense. We need people who truly represent the values of City Council District 9 and will do what's right and good for District 9, making sure not only do we get equal-based budgeting, but we also get represented on national issues in the sense that we stop that. We got to get back to basics. We got to get back to business. We got to back SA Blue and continue, because Texas Organizing Project is not going away. They will continue to bring back Proposition B time and again. There's already talk about bringing it back in November. So if you want to protect the police, if you want to protect business owner conscience rights and their ability to open their businesses and operate under their own conscience, they can determine whether they're essential or not, whether or not they want to have masks in their business or not. We all remember where restaurants and other businesses used to say, no shoes, no shirts, no service. If they want to have no mask in there, that's their business. And we as consumers have the right to go in there or not. But we respect their rights, and they respect ours. We have to get back to basics. We have to get away from pet projects, crosswalks, moving historical monuments. We have to protect those historical monuments. We have to make sure that we protect our heritage. We have to make sure we change the course and direction of the city of San Antonio, and now is the time to do that. We're in a runoff. We're in a runoff for our very freedom, for our very lives, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. So please join us on the campaign trail. Volunteer. Pray, most importantly. Volunteer. Give if you can. $9 in honor of District 9 and get 9 other people to join you in honor of District 9. You can do that at votepatriot.org, votepatriot.org. If you give $500, that's the maximum contribution right now in this election cycle. $500 per U.S. citizen 18 years and older. We are in the process of raising $87,000 to accomplish this and win this race. We need your help. We also need block walkers and phone bankers. Please join us as we go forward. Early voting, as Steve said, early voting begins on May 24th and goes to June 1st. And Election Day is the first Saturday in June, Saturday, June 5th. So with that, I'd like to say, may God bless you. May God bless Texas. May God bless San Antonio. And may God bless us as we go forward and keep all our campaign volunteers safe, and that we pursue the truth, never stopping. So with that, I want to thank each of you for being out today. Thank you, Steve, for being here. My daughter, Blaine, thank you for all of you being here. For retired firefighters and police officers, and thank you, San Antonio Police Officers Association, for your endorsement. I'm honored and humbled, and we will remember. Remember the Alamo, remember Dohlen, remember our independence and what people have done for the freedom we enjoy today. Some have even died for it. So thank you very much for being here, and let's go forward. And in the words of one who will never give up, let's roll. Liberty or death. Thank you very much for your time and attention.